Sergeant Joanne, Chief Master Sergeant Joanne S. Bass. And this November, we celebrate Veterans Day and Military Family Month. We honor the incredible strengths veterans bring to every mission, from their battlefield to the boardroom. Their leadership, resilience, and integrity continue to serve our nation long after their service ends. And I appreciate you coming on, Chief Bass. And we're going to kind of talk about some things about the military today. What would you say are the key strengths and talents those serving in the military possess?
Neil, thanks for having us, especially on this month where it's Military Family Month. I would say that there are so many, but if I had to narrow down to a few, I would say strong work ethic, adaptability, problem solvers, and our military and veteran community are some of the most resourceful and resilient people you'll ever meet, not just our veterans themselves, but their families as well.
Can you tell us a bit about your military background and how you feel it has impacted your life?
Absolutely. I had the honor and privilege to serve in the United States Air Force for over 3 decades. My dad always told me that 4 years in the military never hurt anybody, and boy, was he right. I will tell you that every year and every assignment that I had in the military helped shape the person that I am today. And the Air Force has given me so very much. In fact, I think if you talk to any veteran, they'll share with you that the military has given them much more than we can ever give back.
What inspired you to become an advocate for our military veterans, and what are the top priorities in this mission?
Yeah, what I would share with you is that you never quit you never quit serving, even, when you take the uniform off. And so, for me, I get the opportunity to serve in a different way. While I was wearing the uniform and serving as a chief master in the Air Force, I was focused on the military mission, but also focused on the people behind the mission and their family members, and making sure that we have the conditions for which they can thrive to be able to take care of our nation. And so, as my focus has shifted just a bit, it's still focused on national security. It's still focused on the people behind the mission. And now I'm sharing really three main points, which is the opportunity to be able to connect with our veteran community, providing opportunities for them, as well as caring for them. And I'm here today actually with PMI US, and really focused on some of the things that they drafted out in a white paper after listening to our veteran communities on ways to which America and companies and communities can really get after taking care of our veteran community.
And I think this is such a huge thing that needs to be done, right? Especially when veterans get home, they have to find what their mission is after their military career. And sometimes companies have to understand how great it is to bring veterans onto their company or their organization. And through this program, they're going to get to understand that more, right?
Absolutely, Neil. Here's what I would say. For companies to really understand that when a military member transition, they're not just transitioning out of their job, but they're transitioning out of, they're transitioning their way of life. And veterans are not ever looking for a hand out, but a hand up. And so when we think about that as companies and communities, we want to be able to honor our veterans by bringing them in because of the talent and the leadership and those strengths that we mentioned earlier that they bring to their organizations and the communities. Again, thinking about our veterans in terms of all of the goodness that they bring in, which are really a ton.
So, what can communities and companies do to help our veterans maintain or regain a sense of pride and purpose in the civilian world?
Yeah, I think really, I spoke about that before, which is hiring them and looking at them for the leadership and the strengths that they bring, that adaptability, the resilience that they have. Also, thinking about it in terms of that not one organization can do it by themselves, right? Like this takes all of us to get after the care and the connection and the opportunities that we bring our broader military community.
Absolutely. And the organization you're with, how do you guys help in that way?
So I am actually with quite a few organizations, one of which I'm here today, which is PMI US, but I also do a lot of work with hiring our heroes, Columbia Southern University, the Bob Woodruff Foundation, all of the Robert Irvine Foundation. All of these organizations are focused on strengthening our veteran community because they realize that when you have a strong veteran community, you have a strong nation. And so I would offer that you can start out, anybody who's listening and watching us can go to uspmi.com and check out that white paper. Again, that was really thoughtfully done. That helps us understand what are the needs that the veteran community has and how can all of us be part of getting after those things. Again, this is about supporting our military community, because when we do, we have a greater, more resilient, and stronger America.
One of my organizations that I work with is Vet SOS, and they are all about telling transition stories as a foundation. And I help that organization with multiple things, and I'm on their board. And he's really taught me how important the transition story is. If our veterans can transition into a better right into civilian life so quickly and in a better way, we're going to have less uh, mental health issues. We're going to have less homelessness. We're going to have better employment for veterans, and they're going to have lead better lives. And if we, as a society, have open arms once they transition and come up with the game plan for them and help them in that game plan, it's going to be much easier in that transition process.
Absolutely. Neil, thanks so much for your support with that organization, but also for highlighting that aspect that when we include our veterans and their family members into our workforce and into our community, it is a win for all. They bring such strong leadership and talents and capabilities to every single organization, and they will make you better.
And that's the thing. They are able to be led or lead, either or in an organization. And that is a
Absolutely.
great thing where if you're asking them to lead a bunch of people, they're going to be able to lead those people. And if you're asking them to do great tasks for your organization, they're going to be able to do that too. So there's two different components that really it's hard to find good talent, and the veteran community is the place to find it.
Absolutely. I talk about it all the time. We have over 200,000 transitioning service members every single year. 200,000. And if every company and community would really understand that aspect, like they'd realize the huge talent pool that they have to grab across our nation.
So you talk, why is the whole society approach to veteran support important, and how can you understand and our audience learn more about this?
Yeah, it goes back to, what I said just a minute ago, which is not one single organization can do it by itself. It is going to take a whole of nation, whole of society approach. And that means we've got to capitalize on our government, our businesses, our academia, nonprofits, as well as the community to really think about what is their role that they play in strengthening our veteran community. And it falls back on that very, specific point that I want to really kind of be hard hitting and for every audience member and listener to think about, which is your veterans and their families, bringing them into your workforce and into your communities is a win for the entire nation.
And your website again, that the organization we're talking about today, where can they go?
They can go get more information and check out the white paper at uspmi.com. Phenomenal read, and really does share how all of us can make an impact.
Thanks, Chief Bass. Appreciate it.